Good afternoon, class. Today we will see the remaining topics which has been left in software environments. Yesterday we have seen that what are the environments will be suited for the cloud. In that we discussed how we are going to take these services on these web. So there exists a architecture, service oriented architecture (SOA). So we also gone through the evolution of the SOA. In this evolution, we have seen how these data, what we are representing the raw data, has been processed to take the ultimate decisions on the presented one. So on the given data sets, all these has been covered. So today we will see the two remaining topics which has been included in this distributed systems which are using in the software environment. So in this we will see first one is the distributed operating system, and then next one is what are the programming models we are using here. So in this we are having one example. The one example will be discussed with the architecture itself and how it is going to execute, or the what is the working procedure will be specified. So first one here is distributed operating system. Here I am not describing the distributed system. So here in the distributed system environment, we are using distributed operating system. Means what it is, the operating system what you are chosen has been evenly distributed from. So how come it is happened here is, so there is a word, see here there we are representing a word that is called as a loosely coupled. So what it is specifying, the most distributed systems what you are chosen for these computers for designing are the loosely coupled. So what this loosely coupled represents means they don't have single image here, because it is having multiple system images to process. Why? Because it is having multiple systems to system images to process means, how come a distributed operating system forms here is, so it is used to form using a LAN, or you can use the more than LANs to can form that one. But in this representation we are having multiple systems into an account. See this diagram. In this diagram there are different networks there. So these different networks are interconnected through these that is connectivity what you have chosen, and each and every network what you are having is having one workstation, and some of the systems are being connected through a local network, and to maintain this network there is a network host, and we are having some workstations also which are connected to these network. So here we are having different types of representations, different types of the networks in that one. So if we are chosen this environment only, what it is maintaining is, it is maintaining the unique environment here. Here in this one you can maintain the unique one, because all these are connected. For example, if you are taking a LAN connection, so if you want to install a bunch of computers onto your network, what you will do, you will simply go for the installations of the operating system which are unique for all only. Means you won't install Fedora for one, Microsoft, that is Windows for one thing, and Windows 10 for one, and Windows Vista for one thing. What you will do, you are connecting these systems into a network. So what we have to do is nothing but we have to maintain a uniformity here. So here this uniformity will be maintained individually in this 4 different vowels, what are different networks what you are chosen. These combinedly are specified as a distributed system environment. So this is the typical distributed environment what it is representing. In this typical distributed environment, we are having many systems connected through these Wi-Fi or any other internet connection. What we need to do here is, why it is supporting distributed operating system means, the whole representation what you are having on the screen is a complete distributed system. This one will have the one type of behavior, this one will have the one type of, and then next, like that we are processing. So if you are not installing these systems on a physical environment and you are taking multiple individual systems to form a network. For example, a bunch of students has been taken to form a network. What they will do, they will connect these networks to their laptops. So all these laptops may have or may not have the same environment, because for example, if you are choosing the Apple, what they are using, they are not using any Windows, or like they have the Mac OS or iOS, or any other systems will have the Windows. Other is the having the XP. In the Windows only, you are having many versions will be there. So 10 different people will have the 10 different environments, may have the different environments. If they may not have the different environments, it will be easy. So if they have the simple and this that is same environment, what they will do here is, what they provide for processing, that is all the systems what you are having using will have the system image as the operating system image will be same. But what are the type of the processors we are using, what is the Intel version, or the Core i3, or i4, or any i8, or what they are using, and what is the memory capacity, and what are the disk capacity, all these things will differ. So most of that one is operating system is same, that's all. So here in these different representations, what you are maintaining, different operating systems has been replaced by the uniformity, if you are taking one type of example. If not, if you are, these 10 people are having the 10 different environments, or may imagine they have the 6 different environments, all the remaining 4 have the, means remaining people have the equivalent environment, we are belonging to this 6th one. So what they will do, they have to maintain the system images, all these things. So what it is specifying here is, loosely coupled here is, the distributed system, what you are specifying has multiple system images. Why these multiple system images we are providing here is, you are adding the node missions to your networks. These node missions, what it is performing, they will have their independent operating system. By using their independent operating system, what it has to do, it has to connect to the network, or it has to connect to any network, any cloud or anything. So what it has to do is nothing but, it has to share the resources, and it has to evolve in the that is a fast communications, and all these things has to be performed. So for that, some of the systems may support fast communication, some of the systems may not support fast communications. Rather than what it will be, let it be. What it doing is, we have to connect these people into a network, and you have to process all these things into one. So likewise, I'm taking simple example here. While writing your exam, sometimes that is based on your system environment what you have chosen, some may get the examination screen fastly, and some may get this slowly. Why? Because it is nothing but, it completely depends upon the connectivity, and these what is the compatibility between the system you have been connected through the the network, and also to the environment what it is having there. Means why it is, means all are you having the same credentials only, but what it is differing, the thing what you are chosen for connecting to that environment will differ. So that's why what it is specifying here is, so based on the changes in your environment, it also changes the behavior of the things here. So further, we are using a that is a concept loosely coupled, and by using this loosely coupled, what we are doing, we are taking that is the resource sharing and the fast communications into an account between all these nodes what you are chosen individually or completely what you are provided. So if you are want to do in a better manner, what you have to do is nothing but, you have the distributed operating system only. Means individually you are taking into account will change, or the will charge will take many times, so that is the time will be very more when compared to the others. So to overcome all these, what are these that is disadvantage, so not the disadvantages, to what you have to, you have the limitations there. So while using the individual independent operating system, so what it is providing here is we need to take the distributed operating system into an account. So what this distributed operating system will do, so this will manage all the resources what you are having, and also take care of the message passing. If any internode communications will be there, this has to be put into the count. And also by using this, means by including the distributed operating system into this one, we will upgrade the performance, efficiency, and the flexibility of these distributed applications here. So the thing is, here we don't need to take care of, we don't need to look after of the individual or the unique operating system, independent operating system of each and everyone. So what we need to do here, we need to take care of the we need to take care of we need to maintain a distributed operating system here. What is the distributed operating system here is, for all these networks or for all these nodes what you have chosen, it is having one system image only. Using that system image, what it is doing is, it is providing the system share, that is a resource sharing, and any types of the works has been included that has to be done by the this one only, that is the distributed operating system only. So that's why we need to include all these things into one. So here we see, to promote the resource sharing and the fast communication among the node missions, what we need to maintain, it is best to have the distributed operating system. What we are gathering all these things, for what we are gathering all these things, for not simply we are gathering, what they are doing, they are performing some tasks. While performing some tasks, what they need some resources. So they will need some inputs, that is the data. Sometimes they need some multi-processing environment. Sometimes they need some network connectivity. All the things has to be considered there. So storage also has to be considered. So everything, the resources, whatever involved in computation could be implied, could be specified as a sharing here. So to provide the sharing environment without any limitations or without any time taking, what we need to do is nothing but, for the distributed environment, we need to maintain a distributed operating system also. So that's why we are allowing to take the distributed operating systems into an account. So you know, the NMM identifies, there are the three approaches why we need to take into account that the resources what you are choosing has to be managed in this distributed computing system. So what it is, first we need to build the network operating system. Where we are building this network operating system is, there are different heterogeneous, different means that is independent, autonomous OS platforms will be there. For all these different OS platforms, what they are doing is, they are take caring of these network operating system. Means at the network, that is at the network host or anything, means here at the network host we will have the operating system. This network host, what we will do, it will take care of the nodes which has been connected to that one. And then second approach here is, that is the first approach. If you don't want to go for that one, you can have the second one also. So here we need to develop the middleware to limited degree of the resource sharing. So why we need to limit the resource sharing is, all these things not to be shared which are required for the computation, which are being that is frequently asked by the consumers or the network people, has to be included there. So first we need to see what would be the resources to be shared frequently, or which are to be shared as means they are not being shared, we have to identify. So after identifying all these things which are being that is asked frequently, we have to limit that one. So why we need to limit that one here is, all these resources has not been provided independently. All these things means they are not being available for all the time. So for that one, what we are doing is, first we need to limit all these things, and also we need to maintain a operating system for any cluster system there. So we are having a cluster that is operating system which is for the Unix one. So here MOS, that is MOSIX. MOSIX is multi-computing operating system. IX stands for the last two letters of the Unix. MOS is multi-computing operating system. OS means operating system. IX means Unix. So this is the operating system which is used for the that is Linux based systems for that is using in distributed environment or these resource sharing environment. And then next what we need to do here is we need to maintain the system transparency. System transparency means in the coming slides you have a diagrammatical representations. Why we need to maintain the transparency here? So the transparency is for the users only. So who are availing the services? Users. Who are using the data? Users only. And complete the computations what you are doing, what are the services you are providing, for whom you are also providing, again the users have to be considered. So for that the users must know what is the transparency of the system, what it is been doing, what are the performances of the systems at each level has to be known to the user. So they should maintain a transparency of these systems to the user. So if you want to develop a that is a distributed operating system, what we need to do is nothing but we need to take into account that it should be used by the higher use. Means it means we are developing an operating system. It is mostly not used. Means it's not the means appreciable one. What you have to do is nothing but whenever you are whenever you are decided to develop a operating system, the thing is you need to know whether it is having the usage highly or not. If it is highly usage, and then next you need to maintain a transparency on the system. What we need to do is nothing but we need to develop a distributed operating system to that environment. So what are the three approaches you are having? The first approach is you have to build an operating system at the network. Means it is not at the workstations or not, which is evolved with the network only. So if any system has been added or removed, or what it is how it is going to look after is based on the operating system which has been installed or which has been looked after at this network only. And then next what you are choosing the second one. So for what you have to do is nothing but we need to maintain a middleware. So why we are choosing the middleware here is all these things are not available. Means means sometimes you should wait for the resources there. So all the things what you are sharing not be available. So you are making them available means we need to purchase all these things there. So no need to purchase all these things. What you have to do is nothing but if you want to create any middleware environment, in yesterday's session I explained what is a middleware. So there is no need to install the things into one. What they are doing is nothing but they are providing that is the conversion, that is the environment you can be accessible without installing all these things. So by that what you are doing, you can limit the resource sharing, because there is no need to share the resource because you are having a middleware here. So if you don't have the concept of middleware, what you have to do is nothing but for each and every person we need to give the resources there. So if you are having the middleware, what it is doing is, if you are using the middleware, you will have the ability to access any type of this software or any type of the things what you are considering there. So here what it is the example educate the operating system what is chosen for these Linux clusters, that is a MOSIX. So the third approach is you are truly wanted to build the operating system. What you have to do here, if you want to achieve only the higher usage, and then next you want to maintain the system transparency for the users, then you need to maintain all the then you need to develop the operating system distributed one truly. So this is the example previously explained. So these are the different things. These are the different networks you are using, and they are interconnected with these Wi-Fi, or means these are the workstations which are not being located at the same. So which are at the different branches or the different states or countries you can specify. So here we can implement any type of the things here. So all these having the same representations. The workstations are connected to the network host, and these network hosts are specified with their local network. And these local network, what here is collecting all these things and then processing the data here. While processing, if there is any means usage of network resource sharing is there, they are using the resource sharing concept also. So these are the things what you need to specify. So these are the three different operating systems, ma. So the first operating system is Amoeba, and then next one is the DCE, and the last one is the MOSIX, which is for the Linux clusters only. So see, three different operating systems are there. Three different these are specified as the research prototypes. Means which has been used in that is there are the representations where it has been developed and where they also use it there, but later on there is not means they are not successful. These are not considered as a successful products, because these research systems what you are doing is they are not having so much ability or the so much things what it is having processing for. So what is the history or the what they have when it is developed here is Amoeba. They are having means what are the different languages it is supporting also. So the Amoeba is written in C, and where it is developed here is Vijay University, that is it's a European community. So actually it is means started in 1977, but the version what you are using that is came into existence here is in 1995. And whereas coming to the DCE, that is a data communication equipment, here it is built for these Unix, VMS, Windows or any operating system, which is for the user extension, user processing only, equipment data for communication only. It has been invented. So this has been invented by the Open Software Foundation. So here the third one, MOSIX, is it is developed since 1977. Also, it is also having. Now it is called as a MOSIX 2, which is used in the HPC, Linux, and GPU clusters. GPU means graphical processing units. HPC means high performance computing. So what could be the architecture of the these things here is, so the first one is using microkernel based, and it is a location transparent. You can use many servers to handle the files, directory replication. You can run that one, you can boot that one. And what are the services it has been provided in this architecture, network architecture, is TCP IP services which has been included. So here, what is it is specifying here is the Amoeba. What you are using is, you know, the Amoeba in science structure. So what it is like structure means it is having multiple nerves like that. So multiple nerves will be there. So if you have the idea about that one, so there you will have one that is between point will be, that is the center of the point will be there. To that one you are having multiple things which are connected, which are being a that is a nerves form will be there. Not only this form, it is having some different forms. So like that, what it is doing is it is also providing these things into that one, that is by using this cluster, that is a you are having center of one. What it is providing here is the nerves what it is connected can be specified as the network connections what it is choosing. So why we are having so much network connections here is, so you can have that is if any crash has been occurred, what it is doing is it will allocate, or it will take care of the other things to be processed. How the structure will be here means there is no any transparency, or there is no anything will be considered. So what it is doing is simply it is take caring of the all the computations what you are having. Means if you see any amoeba, it is in the means mostly in the circular space in the center of that one. So what these nerves it is having will be specified as the network connectivities what you are chosen. To this network connectivity there will be some processings will be, means what it say, computers, that is the nodes will be connected, and what it does is nothing but any failure has been occurred, you will go for the another one. Means it will be like the traveling, when you are that is a distance vector routing or anything, anything has been considered, what you are doing, you will lay the connection to each and every node, and if it is possible you will lay the network, that is the connection, and what you are doing, you will traverse through that network and go finding all these things. So that is the means why we are choosing different networks. For example, one is connected to 2, 3, or 4 or 5. Four nodes will be there. So why we are chosen to take the only one means there will be the algorithm decision will be there. So if you are taking traveling salesman problem or shortest path or any distance vector routing or any type of anything, what it is, the algorithm will decide what is the path we need to consider there. So after that, wishing, what you have to do is nothing but there is also one indication. If you are choosing that node, there is a possibility of reaching the that is the destination is not, it has to be considered there. So like that we are choosing the Amoeba for processing. So while coming to the second one, that is a DCE. In this one, what it is doing is it is a middleware operating system. So what it is doing here is it is a process. It is providing a platform for running different, that is distributed applications. What it is chosen, and it is having the, that is in previous, then what it is, what these approaches we are having is we are having three different approaches. In that one we are having the middleware. What we are doing, we need to maintain a middleware operating system to reduce the, to limit the resource sharing. So that's why DCE will supports the second approach what you are choosing. Second, and the third one is here we need to here what it will do is this operating system with resource discovery. It will discover the resources and migrate the process if any crash has been occurred. Along this, when executing all these things, it will that is a long time support will be provided. Load balancing means that it is completely depends upon the cluster what you have chosen. If the cluster is complete having many things to be considered, what it has to do is nothing but, so it has to take the how it is going to execute all these things. Flood control, the resources has been shared between the clusters or within the clusters. So the resources are available or not, next to for whom I have to allocate the resources, and then next any traffic has been occurred, this has to be controlled here. And then it's the virtualization support or the kernel or the middleware. So we are maintaining a microkernel. What it is doing is it is taking care of the low level process that is underneath of that one hardware process what we are doing, and it is taking care of these memory operations also, IO, and the communication functions what it is providing. So here in the DCE, the packages what we are doing will handle these files what you are chosen for processing time and the directory, and then next there is a remote procedure calls, any middleware actions has to be performed, what is the user space and what are the user operating systems they have been connected, what are the there is a middleware things how to use to connect other two that is convert all these things has to be considered. So these are the things we need to specify, and the mechanisms are there uh, specified also. And then we are having that is the Amoeba versus DCE. So what is the DCE here is we see that is DCE is completely designed for the middleware based systems only, whereas these Amoeba what you are designed, what you are specified is we are having to use this thing to transparency, or we can consider the handling the files or any thing that is running booting has to be specified here. So if you want to support all these things, web-based operating systems to that is virtualization, what you have to do is nothing but we need to take these resources into the distributed environments. So these distributed environments, what it has to take is they need to know what the resource management workload has to be balanced. The functionality what you are specifying, there is a distributed it has to take the resources to be available for any server. So like this it has to be specified. So with this distribution of operating services what you are the operating system services what you are chosen, that is the design what you took for these has to be the lightweight microkernel, and also it should provide these approach what it is, that is lightweight kernel approach is like the amoeba. So here whatever the things means we have discussed, that is either amoeba or DCE or Mosix. What it is doing is they are just the prototypes, as means they are just researching. Researching has been done, but it is not been indicated, or it has not been means there is a resource management what you have done is not been implemented furtherly, because the research systems what here is not been followed for these commercial purpose they specify. So these two, amoeba is a network and then XDC is a equipment. All these things what it is providing here is going to give the distributed operating system only. Where it is affecting here is the amoeba is choosing whether it is any failure in any processing has been occurred while the computation. What it is doing is it is trying to get the another system to continue the processing. What it is DCE doing here is, DCE is not doing any computations or anything. What it is itself, it is a middleware, means it will take the information, or it will do, so it will access like here in a middleware one only. So here completely it acts as a middleware system for the processing. So the next one is the MOSIX2 for the Linux clusters. The MOSIX2 what you have mentioned, likewise I said, MOS is the multi-computing operating system for the Unix environment. Now it is maintained, that is specified as a MOSIX2. So here, which is we are specifying it as a distributed operating system, which is the third one. Here it is specified, or which can be run on the virtualization layer of the Linux environment. So it is completely operating system which has been designed for Linux only. So this layer or this thing what you are using will provide the single system image for all the user applications what you are chosen, because it is designed for the Linux clusters only. In this Linux clusters, what it is doing, it is will will be able to access the Linux environment only. So the clusters what you are providing will be, means in these MOSIX environment what will be the mostly the Linux, and also sometimes you will have the some middleware, and there is an virtualization environment is there. So that's why mostly it will provide only single system SSI to the user applications. And it also supports both sequential and parallel applications, and any migrations are there, and also is supported. And anything can be specified, that is any Linux cluster or any grid will be there. What it is doing, it is can be means possibly specified, sorry, possibly handled by them. So what they have to do is nothing but they have to share their computational resources among these multiple clusters. So what it is doing is it has to trust all these existing cluster owners that they will definitely provide the services likewise as they said. And also they will have to manage the resources of the clusters what they're having. The clusters can be Linux clusters, GPU clusters, or grids, or you can specify some clouds. If you have any virtualization environment, you can use the virtualization machines into account. So after that, we are having the transparency in programming environments. So in the transparency in the programming environments, likewise I said, the user has to maintain, has to know about the what is the system is performing. So the transparency what you have chosen here is given in these future computing platforms. So the user data, applications, and these operating systems, and then hardware. So these are the separated 4 levels of that one. So the data what you are using is completely owned by the users only, and it is completely independent on the applications what you are processing. Means it won't depends upon the applications here. So by changing the applications, the data sets will change. No, it's not like that. So the data what you are using must be independent of the applications what you are using. Whereas the operating system what you are using, it provide the clear interfaces, standard programming interfaces, or any system calls to communicate with these application programmers. So here we are discussing some that is a cloud. So cloud may specifying. So in future, what would be the infrastructure? So the cloud infrastructure what we are using will be, means the hardware what we are representing will be separated by these standard interfaces from the operating systems. By this, what will be the benefit means the user will be able to choose the different operating systems, means for process. Means if you are specifying, if you are including this hardware with the operating system, means some hardware components or some difference will work on the operating system environment only. If they are not supporting that operating system environment, they won't work. So that's why this is a future diagram. So what they are representing here is we need to separate these hardware and the operating system both, because when it is separated, user will have the that is ability to choose the what is the environment to be designed. Means if you, for example, the device is supporting Windows only, but you want to execute in the Linux environment, it is not possible. So that's why what we are doing, we are separating all these things from that one. So to separate user data, that is user from specified data from these application programs, what it has to do is nothing but the user must enable the these cloud applications such as SaaS, and then next all these things are considered. So that's why we need to enable all these things. So by using this type of things, what the users will do here is they can switch from different services, and the by changing the services, the data what you are mentioned will not be bounded here. So likewise, what you are doing, we are maintaining the data. The data for the Word, the data will be differ. For the Firefox, it also differ, and then any applications what you are using, it will differ. So here, it will, what it has to do is nothing but it has to provide the environment only to process, but it not to take the data should be like this only. Like, it has not to be provided. And coming to the operating systems, we need to take care of the operating systems into account. All these things has to be independent. So they are not to be interdependent. If they are interdependent on each other, so these Microsoft, there is a Word document what you have chosen will work on the Windows only. Like that, they are passing. What they have to do is nothing but they can't use in Linux or any Windows other version like that. So independently, what they have to do is nothing but they need to specify all these can be done, or all these can be used, or that is designed, and by that the user can have the benefits of that one, and the user can choose the environment. So before processing all these things, yeah, they will decide that is I want to work in this environment only, and your device is not supporting that environment. What it has to do, it has to take care of the middleware or anything. So you are working on the Windows. In this laptop there is a Windows, and you are chosen to working on the Linux here. So what it has to do is nothing but it has to provide the virtualization here. VMs has been used. That is the Linux what you have chosen will act as a guest operating system, and then you can develop all these things into that one. Whatever you have been developed will be stored into your memory space only. And what it is doing here is it is providing you a environment for a particular amount of the time to process, or to get your data, to get your process to be done. So after that, we are having the next one, that is in the third one in this software environments is parallel and the distributed programming models. See here we have the three programming models: MPI, MapReduce, and the Hadoop. So what is the MPI? Here is the message passing interface. So here I am explaining, means I am explaining again and again. You will that's why I am taking an example here. So what this example consists of, it is having some nodes. How many nodes it is having? Some 12 nodes, 0 to 11. So in this communication world, means MPI means the message passing interface, what it is providing here. So this consists of some subprograms that can be executed in the C or the Fortran, which will try to write these programs in a parallel manner, and all these will run on these distributed computer systems what you have chosen. So for this processing, what I have chosen is, in this example I am taking the 12 nodes here. In this 12 nodes, what I have to do is nothing but I need to identify what are the things to be evolved in a communication group. So all these 12 not be evaluated in a task. Someone only or some things has to be involved in a task. For that, what I have to do is nothing but I have to take whatever the things has been evolved in two different communications. We are taking only two different communications here. So different communications, first I need to identify, and I have to keep aside. First I need to group them, and I have to keep aside. So after that one, I have to create a channel there. So to create a channel, first I need to brought into a that is a connecting manner there. So I want to give the that is a shape to them. So these are the things I have been chosen, and also it is providing the things to be considered. So that is communication 1, and then communication 2 has been processed. So in between, if you want, they want to communicate, they will communicate with the others. If not, they will communicate, they will not communicate, like that it is doing. So what is the message passing interface here? It is used completely, or the that is definitely developed for the parallel and concurrent execution of the programs only. So to which has been run, they has to be run on the distributed systems. So you know the threading concept will be there. So what it is doing, it is having in this one, it is say, sharing the code, and what the differs, the data only differs. So how it is going to process here is, we need to take these libraries which are used for the subprograms, has to be means called from C or the Fortran what you are using. So what it has to do is nothing but to write the parallel programs to run these things into a parallel manner. Means we need to communicate with this. Communication will include all these things here. So the two groups has to be specified. The two groups has to be done here. So for that one, we need to come into existence that the any virtual machine, if we need to install also, we need to install this one. So for this, we will use the parallel virtual machine also. And then next, second one is the map reduce. So for the map reduce also, I am taking the example only, ma, for not confusing anymore. So here, see here, if this is the method it is following, and later on we are having the two examples. So I am having different patterns in this one. So first, what I need to do, I need to what you have to do is to identify all these things. So first, identify the patterns, different patterns you are having. That is splitting. We need to split these different patterns here, and then next, what you have to do is nothing but from your collected data from different systems or the different thing, you have been collected some data. What we need to do here is nothing but we need to take the data to be gathered from all these patterns and has to be maintained here. So here the things what it is having the equal behavior, that is the uniform behavior, will be maintained. So first what we will do, first we need to take the mapping will be there. What is the mapping will do? It will split up that one, and then next we need to shuffle that one. In this shuffle also we will take the things what you are specifying. After that one we will make them to reduce. So how it is going to reduce means, by taking all these into a one consideration, it is going to reduce in that one. So here I am having an example. So this one, you know, there is a deer, bear, and then river, and then next the data set. You know this example in DB, that is a data mining. This like example is there now. So like that, I taken three indications here. So which is having the first data set. The first one data is this one. Second one is one. Second one this one. So first I need to split. So first I need for splitting one. First I should know what is the first data set, and then next what is the data it is consist of. So after that, what I have to do, I have to map that one. So for splitting, what I have to do is nothing but I need to identify what are the different things it is having. It is having the deer, and then next bear, and then next river. Here it is car, and then next car, and then next river. What I have to do, I am splitting up each and everything, and I am maintaining a count also here. So it has been counted, and then next what it is doing, it is shuffling. Why it is shuffling here is, we need to take care how many things are there in this in your data. What is the input you have given, having something some different representations. Deer is there, and the next car is there, river is there, and the next bear is there. How many are there? 4 different data inputs are there. So first what we need to do, we need to shuffle, and we need to maintain 4 different data sets here. So for each and a data set, we need to take each one into the count. So how I am taking to the count here is, So first we need to gather the different things what it is having. So here I am having this one, where, and the next here I am having this one. So that's why these two are connected to this shuffle set. And this the car is having the 3 inputs. In this one it is only having 2 different, sorry, these having the 2 unique one. So car represented here, and the next, like this I will connect all these things to the another one, reducing one. How it is going to reduce? So what are the data elements here? Only 4 data elements here. How many are like them, means how many are represented here? In this one 2, and then next 3, 5, and then 7, 8, 9. So we are using 9 different representations to represent this one. So what you have to do, we need to take the word count process into that one to reduce that one. So how you are going to reduce means, so this where is considered, these two are the same data elements which has been used twice. So here I am maintaining twice as a 2, thrice as a 3, again twice 2, again twice 2, like that is it. So the overall data set here is, it is not having how many elements, it is not having 9 elements here, it is having only 4 elements. In these 4 elements, it is repeated by 2 times, and then next 3 times it is 2 times has to be specified. So this is the mapping and reducing. So map reduce means you will map these things and then reduce the data items what you are having. So how we are going to map means, first we need to split up and then start the mapping. While starting the mapping only, what you will do is nothing but we will to shuffle your data items. So first we need to identify how many items you are having. So that much of things we will be maintained here. After that we will reduce them. How we are going to reduce them is, we need to make the word count process into the existence. So take the second example here. Welcome to the Hadoop. The class Hadoop is good, Hadoop is bad. Okay. So this is the word, or this is the this is the sentence it has been taken. So how we are going to consideration is, I am splitting this into the 4. Means I randomly I took all these things. I am not taking this thing into that one. So how I am going to have means consider this one is, I am taking only 3 things into that one. Only 3 words has to be specified. Welcome to Hadoop, and then next class Hadoop is, and then good Hadoop is. So after that we are having only bad. So that's why we has been divided. So if you are having the data items as a set, then there is no need to divide all these things. But we are not having the data items as a set here. This is a sentence. So that's why we need to decide whether we need to use any how many inputs into that one. So I have been used 3 words only into consider one, and I am splitting this one. How I am going to split one means, so you have taken the different 3 words representation. So 3 different words has been specified here, and I am marking the count of that one gradually, or eventually it will be 1 only. So after that what I have to do, I have to make these considerations to be done, to be specified here like that. So how I am going to shuffle. So before shuffling I should know how many words are there. So for that I'm eventually taking, there could be some 7 words or 8 words like that. So if you don't have that much of words, what you have to do is nothing but you will clear up that one. So first one I am taking is bad. So first bad, where it is here only, and we have to see whether it is at any other shuffling case or not. So there it is no not at any other one. So what you are placing bad comma 1, that's all. And then next class only 1, good only 1, and then next we are gone through these Hadoop is there. So for 3 different representations we have the 3 different Hadoop. What you are doing, you are having the Hadoop as the 3 inputs here, and then next we have been used is as 2 elements. So is placed here, and then next 2 is there here in this first one, 2 has been placed, and at last we are having the welcome also, and it is also placed here. So how many sets we are having here? So 7. So 7 is the mention, means guessed one. So we are having the 7 elements only, different data elements only. And what we need to do here, we need to reduce that one. What we follow here, we need to follow that the word count has to be mentioned to reduce the usage of these inputs. So first one, bad, so only one time, class, good, all these are one time only, but Hadoop is has been used 3 times. That's why the count has been increased and reduced to these set has been reduced to with only one data element, that is a 3, and is, and then x2, and then x2 1, welcome 1. So after that, what you are having, you need to take these all these into the final input. So what are the different data elements has been used here? There are 6 data elements, sorry, 7 data elements has been used here. How many data times they has been used here is, we are mentioning the count of that one right after itself only. So the first example is defining. So we are having a data sets which has been processed, which has been used in as a set here. We are mentioning as a set here. But if we are, all the time we are not mentioning the set, likewise a set. So what we need to do, we are taking a sentence. How we are going to process here is, I am taking for my convenience, I am taking only 3 words into a splitting one. So if it is having more than more words, what it is doing, it is having the more splits here. So after that, I am starting the mapping function. Splitting means this one. So first this one and splitting, and this one also is splitting here, where here this is not the this one also splitted from this one and this one. So here what you are doing, shuffling and then next reducing. So this is the mapping and reducing the things into that one to get the that is things what you are chosen for processing. So this is the what it is, this map reduces is the web programming model what you are chosen for, and it is the scalable data processing. Why it is a scalable means, based on your things it will that is how many data elements here Hadoop is having 3 different data elements in the from 3 different set it is having. But here we are representing the Hadoop is used once only, but sorry, Hadoop is the only element which is has been used as a thrice, means it has been scale, that is it has been reduced into one. That's why it is mentioned as a scalable data processing, which is used for the large clusters. We are having 3 different clusters, it is having the same behavior. What is the behavior here? So it is having the same unique word, and it is has been captured into the one. So we are using the map function and also the reduce function. How we are going to map is, we need to take the key and the next values also. For the reduce function, what you have to do, we need to merge all the intermediate values what it is having. For what, with what means, with the same with the same one, means first we will take the that is these are the intermediate values. Now first we will take the Hadoop, again Hadoop will be there. Now what you are doing, you are merging all these things into the account, and then next having the Hadoop library. This one is used in the Hadoop. Hadoop means it is also supported by the Hadoop things what you are using. That's why the software platform what you are using for that one has been supported by the Hadoop here. So if you see, that is the map reduce layer. See here. So that's why I explained that one in that manner. Map reduce layer is there. What we need to take job counter and the task author will be there, or the task tracker. What it does is nothing but it will divide all these things into one. So before coming to this one, Hadoop, what it is this one, nothing. It has been developed by the Ahu group. So what it does is nothing here. It will enable users to write and run their programs on vast amounts of the distributed data. Means it what is allowing the data to be in. So how it is going to allow means, it is having the separate data nodes for each and everything, and it is allowing the task to that one. So if the task is executed or not, it will be tracked by the job tracker there. And what are the nodes you are having will be taken care of by the name node. What is this HDFS means? That is a Hadoop distributed file system layer. So this one is for the map reduce layer. What we have to do, we need to take these jobs task into be means splitting things. If you are that is there is any processings will be there, that is any storings or any these open versions or any will be there. What it has to do is nothing but it has to take the swapping or any communications to come into account, and it will gather all these things to be done. So after that, we are having Open Grid Service architecture. So in this Open Grid architecture, we are looking about these Globus toolkits and extension. So this is the Globus toolkit example. So here we are having application layer, and then collective layer, resource layer, connectivity layer, and the fabric layer. So what it does here is it is mentioned with is used for the protocols, it is for the management of the resources, and it is mentioned for the that is a scheduling will be worked on, and the application layer will be at the user end. So these are the things has to be considered in the Globus. So this is the architecture of the Globus one. So here the workstation components are mentioned here, and the non-workstation components will be like that one. So these, there are the five different indications. The five different indications are, this is for the security, we are maintaining all these things, for the data management, and then next for the execution management, and here we are taking this one is the information array, and these are the environments what it is providing. So toolkit means it is giving all these things to be processed here. So there are the different representations here, dashed representations, and then we are having this dotted representations, and also we are having that is rectangular representations. Here we see that is uh, the public will interface with these and they can change these things into an account, means these are the interactable with the public. And here what we are using, that is a dotted circulations which are not supported, means which are not supported or which are can be dropped by the usage of that one. Whatever the in this thing will be, that is a what it is having the some interfaces which has been used for the support or which has been considered here. So only this is, that's a we are having only introduction what it is a Globus toolkit, and why it is using, why we are specifying all these things into one. So this is also a middleware library which has been developed by US Argonne National Library and also USC Information Science Institute. So this library, what it is doing is it is implemented based on these OGSA standards, and also for the resource discovery, allocations, security enforcement, which is completely for the that is a grid environment. So here, what it does here, it is providing the mutual authentication with the PKI certificates, and also supports to access all these things into the consideration. That is, it will allocate the resources, and it take the consideration, that is infrastructure, security infrastructures will be provided, and then security services will be to look after all these things. And how it is going to take the authentication is with the certificates what here as in Kerberos will be there, SSS will be there, or the proxy specifications, all this has to be considered. So this is about your software environments what you are chosen in means for distributed and cloud systems. That is, we have completed that is discussion of distributed operating system, and also the what are the programming models we are chosen to process, and also we have seen what are the environments which are suitable for our processing, that is Amoeba, DS, DCE, MOS62, and also we have gone through the one important topic, that is a service oriented architecture. So where we need to get on the data which has been converted into the raw data which has been converted into the multiple transmissions. After that, we will take the decisions that has been helpful while processing the request which has been requested by the users we are having. So that's about this class one. Next, in the next session, I will explain what are the performance levels we are chosen or what has been applied in that one. So thank you.